Hi there guys, it's Ali Natural from London. I am the head of training for Kezia Noble Limited, which is the leading European dating company. We help people all over the world. We hold boot camps in America, in UK, in Europe, in Australia, and the rest of the world actually. I have been a head trainer for Kezia Noble for about 3.5 years right now. I personally trained over 1,000 people. I've been to so many seminars and conferences all over the world, and I met so many great people doing this job. So when Chris came to me from Lothrop and said that there's such an amazing opportunity if I would like to take part in it, I said, of course, because I really love helping people out. This is the reason I am a dating coach actually, as well as other bits and pieces that I do, which involves helping people to overcome their limiting beliefs and achieving their dreams and goals. It's all about being happy, and if I can help you in order to reach that goal, the better actually. Alright, I got so many great questions here. I'm going to go over them and answer them as best as I can. If in the meantime you still have other questions, please do get in touch with Chris at loverock.com, and they will forward those questions to me and I'll answer them to the best of my ability. Okay guys, let's go. Question 1. I had rejection from women a lot. Have women rejected you, and how did you react? Yes, I got rejected so many times over the course of my learning period. When I was 25, I had no experience whatsoever with women, and I decided I had to do something about this. So I went out every single day after work for 3 to 4 hours, for 7 days a week. For about 9 months, I got constant rejections, constant no's, constant failures and everything. Roughly, me and my friends calculated that the ones I went out to go talk to women calculated that I think I kind of failed or got rejected roughly about 2,000 times. About 9 months into my learning period, because there was no one to teach me, I was going out on my own every single night to learn this. I was reading stuff, I was watching people who were really good at it, and I was asking lots of questions. After 9 months, I got my first number, and there was a breakthrough for me. And then from there on, I became who I am. I've become kind of famous in the whole London clubbing scene, even, which is now that I'm not really something particularly proud of. But I did some crazy stuff. But that was my turning point. So yes, I got rejected. I got rejected a lot, and that's the only way you can be successful. Otherwise, this just can't happen. Let's just and something also on top of that I want to add. The difference between people who are successful and people who are not is the mentality. People who are successful look at the defeats as opportunities, as opportunities to grow and become better. People who are not as successful looks at no's or rejections as ways of giving up, as ways of excusing themselves and not try harder, not try something different. Okay, if this part of your life is in ruins or is not in a good state as you or hope it should be, right? You got to go out try, because life is short. You got to live your life. Okay, you got to live your life to the standards you set for yourself up. You should not settle for anything less than that. Okay. Okay. Second question. Can you tell us the story how you first met Kezia? Well, for those who don't know who Kezia Noble is one of the leading pickup coaches in Europe and in the world actually. She's the leading female dating coach in her field. She's a published author. She's amazing. She's a good friend of mine too. The way we met was really funny actually. As I said, as I mentioned before, I was doing so many crazy stuff in London, and it turns out my name got bigger and bigger and bigger than I expected it to be. And one day I got a call, and this woman said her name is Kezia and she wanted to meet me. And so I was like, well, okay. I did a bit of a search. I was like, well, she's a really beautiful girl. She's a famous author. And then we met. And then she said, well, I heard about you. I would like you to work for me. So from someone at the age of 25 who hasn't even been to a nightclub or a bar by then who couldn't get a virus from girls, let alone getting their numbers, to someone within a year getting headhunted by one of the leading female dating coaches in the industry was astonishing, to say the least. That's how my story as a dating coach started, actually. From there onwards, I've been working with Kezia continuously, and we have been growing the company ever since, and this has been a great experience so far. Okay, when did you first realize you wanted to help guys with women? The day I realized I am really good at this now and I can get consistent results, I can go meet beautiful people on a consistent basis, and I saw how much of a transformation it brought to my life and my quality of life. And then onwards, and I thought I got to share what I know and what I can do with other people, because I always believe in helping other people. I love helping people in their journey to happiness. So this is just my way of giving something back to people. I worked so hard to get to where I got to, but I believe you do not have to, because there are people like me out there who went out, tried, and crashed and burned and learned. But you don't have to go for the same experiences. You just go to one of these training organizations like ourselves. Kezia Noble is one great example. You can get a training for a couple of days or 1 week. That's something we do as well. We do a mastery course over a course of 1 week. We get lots of people all from all walks of life. Most of them have no experience or like very little experience with women, and they come to us. Most of these people have low confidence issues and what have you, and then seeing the transformation just in the space of week is astonishing, and then you know you made someone's life much better, the quality of life improved, and it's very rewarding. Okay, question 5. Can you tell us a funny story when you have given one of your training sessions? Yes, there are actually so many of them. Me and my okay, I guess I need to lower this a little, guys. Sorry, there was a technical glitch right there. Okay, there are so many stories actually. The other day I was talking to one of the trainers in my team, Johnny, and we were talking about some past experiences where we were laughing our heads off when we recounted it. Not that we were not laughing at people, but the whole funny scenarios, the whole training course actually. One of them, maybe it would relate to you guys. We had this student on our London boot camp from America. It's a really cool guy. I think he's from Utah, I believe. I'm not really sure exactly right now. As I said, we train hundreds of people. And he had this like a social anxiety, it's really crippling and what have you. He came up to me, just trying everything. Tried exposure methods. I tried desensitization methods, and for some reason it was not really working very well. So, and he asked me, "It's like, can you give me an opener that is fail-proof? If I do this, I'm gonna get 100% success rate." And then I just came up with something that is now that I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna share with you. It's kind of ridiculous, a bit weird as well. I said, of course I got one of those. You're gonna go up to this group of girls that look really hot and dressed very scantily. Just kind of a hand-do. They were all in their stockings and the kind of burlesque outfits and everything. They were really beautiful. Everyone was looking at them. There were like 7, 8 of those girls. They were tall and what have you, very intimidating group. And this guy has crippling social anxiety. So I want you to imagine this. And he's only what, 22, 23. And he said, "Okay, go on, tell me, I'm ready." I said, "You're gonna go up to these girls and say, 'Hey, what up, bitches?' And then you're gonna laugh and you're gonna say, 'Hi, I'm just working on my bad boy style.' Okay?" He said, "Really? Does this really work?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course it does work. You know, it works every single time." Actually, I was joking. So I turned around to the bar to get my drink. I turned around just like a few seconds, and this dude just went off. Started walking towards the group. I was like, "Uh-oh, what did I just do?" He goes to the group and he does the opener. Groups start laughing. They just burst into laughter, and they also hugging him and everything. They start taking pictures. Get pictures where his face was, among this amazing bosoms and everything. He was just loving it, and this girl didn't let him go for the rest of the night. It was actually like very funny because I was just trying to they were funny and also to come up with something really weird. So to show him that even if you do that with the right attitude, this will work. I didn't actually tell him that I kind of lied to him that it would work 100% of the time and everything. But funny enough, it really did, and from there onwards, it become one of our inside jokes. And whenever we have someone with social anxiety, a crippling social anxiety, we would give him that kind of a routine on that line. So far, that it has worked 100% of the time. It's crazy. All right, next question. All right, what? Okay, this is a question we get quite a lot. Who is the best pickup artist you have met? What do you think of Richard Gambler? Well, I met so many pickup artists or dating coaches throughout my career. Now, I met people from America, I met people from Europe, I met people from the UK and everything. To be honest with you, in my experience, the best pickup coach I met is Tyler Durden. Actually, that's how he is known in the community. He's the head of training for Real Social Dynamics. And I would put Kezia there right next to him as well. Because Kezia's communication skills, the way he can teach and everything, definitely out there. And I guess I put myself just under them, just for the sheer fact that I don't want to boost my skills. Okay, next question. What is the best time to pick up girls? Day, coffee shops, etc., or nightclubs? And what's the best way to approach them? Okay, this is another question we get asked quite a lot. What's the best time to do this? Is it there's a specific time for going and talking to beautiful people? This is not the case. Whenever you see someone you would like to talk to or you would have something to do with, you're just gonna go talk to them. It could be daytime, it could be nighttime, it could be when you're about to get your coffee. It could be when you're about to have your lunch, or you're on a bus, or on a car, or a taxi, whatever. You're going on a meeting, and you see that girl walking down the street, whatever. So whenever you see someone that you would like to talk to, you gotta go make it happen. A beautiful story. That's how I met my girlfriend. I had a huge argument with a special person in my life, someone really close to me, and I was really upset and everything. Just then, I just thought I would go in and get a bottle of water from an off-license shop. And then that time I saw this really beautiful kind of special girl walking out of the shop. So we made an eye contact. I went in, get my bottle of water, and started running after her. Imagine this. I was really upset. I was really angry with that person. And then I saw this special girl, and then I just ran after her, started talking. After 10, 15 minutes, we had something to drink. That's what we call instant date. We went somewhere to get a drink, and then ever since we have been together, and she's my girlfriend right now. So whenever you see someone special, someone that gets your beat heart, so gets your heart beating faster, you gotta go talk to her. There's no special time or place really. So what's the best way to approach them? Be honest. So honesty is the best policy, guys. So if she's really beautiful, you think she's really beautiful, you're gonna go tell her that. If she's something special, her smile, her hair, the way she walks, and whatever it is, you're just gonna go tell her that. Okay, and that always works. But what doesn't work, I'll tell you that, and you just go up and say you're beautiful. That doesn't necessarily work. Okay, why do you think she's beautiful? You're beautiful because etc etc. Okay, so that works better. So I have a different kind of style. I am very cheeky, I'm very playful, I'm very sexual at the same time. So my style is a little out there. People think I'm way too extrovert for some people's taste and what have you. But this is me, and it works for me. Okay, and however you feel comfortable, that's the best approach for you. But I would always advise being honest and being direct. Alright, next question. I want to become a master pickup artist. What is the main thing I need to concentrate on that give me the maximum results? Okay, the best thing is for you to do is decide what would really make you happy. So you need to set your own goals and what have you. Because what I usually see happening is that people try to achieve certain goals not because these goals are gonna make them happy, but because they want to show off. Right? For instance, we get people say, "Well, I want to be dating strippers, I want to be dating top models, I want to be dating this or that, I want to be dating 10 women at the same time, and what have you." I mean, there's nothing wrong with any of this stuff. If that's what you want to do, if that's what you would like to achieve in your life, fair enough. And if you can help you with that, it's great. But for me, it was not that. For me, I always been looking for the special girl, and I found one, and we've been together for 2 years, and she's really making me happy, and the whole relationship makes me happy. So that has been my goal. The reason I mentioned that you need to know what you need to achieve, like your goals wise, and so you can work towards it, so you will know, you will like put a minimum effort for maximum gain. Is this? Imagine yourself as a ship, right? Not sheep, not sheep as a ship, right? Like a yacht or whatever. And you are going to cast off from the harbor, right? So what happens if you don't have any destination in your mind? So if there's no destination, there's no roadmap or whatever, and you just cast off from the harbor, and you're going into unknown. What usually happens is, right, the ship would run out of petrol or fuel or whatever, okay, and after a while you will get lost in the middle of the sea or ocean, okay, and you have wasted your time, right? You got to a place that doesn't really make you happy, and you get stranded in the middle of the huge ocean. That's the reason we see so many people with depression problems and what have you, because they live their life to please other people, get other people's approval, to say so. So like you need to determine what's going to make you happy, set your goals, imagine it in vivid detail. So you're going to say, this is the kind of a girl I want, right? This is the quality she needs to have, this kind of look she needs to have, this is the kind of stuff we will be doing together and what have you. And you're going to work your way backwards from there, right? For instance, so you like girls who are arty, girls are passionate, girls like cooking, girls like whatever, you know, into extreme sports and whatever. That's what you're going to concentrate on, because there are millions and millions of beautiful people out there. Okay, if you just go out there and say, well, I'll just try to get to every single person I see, it's not really going to work for you. You will be wasting your time, you will be wasting your money, and it's just a waste of effort, and it's going to take you twice as long, maybe 3 times as long to get to the place you want to get to. Okay, so know your goals and start working towards them. And 3 basic rules afterwards: never hesitate. It's very important. Whatever it is that you want to achieve, you've got to go for it. Second thing is always do things that's going to make you happy. That includes the conversations that you have with women. Always talk about stuff that you're interested, you're passionate about. Do not ask the stupid and expected question like, what's your name? What do you do? Where are you from? What do you want to be when you grow up? And stuff like that. If you're not really interested in any of this stuff, do not ask, because it comes across. And if you're not excited about this conversation, or like the topics of conversation you're having, and a conversation or interaction itself is going to be boring, it's going to be very average and everything, and something average, something boring is not really going to get you anywhere. Next question. What do you guys fail at the most when speaking to girls? I'm not really sure about this question. I guess maybe that person is asking where most of our students fail when they first start the training, or so like kind of an sticking points we call them in their training. So the biggest one, if you have no experience or very little experience with women, is something we call approach anxiety. People are afraid of going up to someone and getting rejected, or getting told that they're not really their type or whatever. Okay, so approach anxiety is a very massive problem for most of the guys we deal with. So the way to cure it, as with any other fear, is understanding and the fear, and reframing it in your mind, and finding actions, like small actions, big actions, or whatever, to cure that problem. For instance, with approach anxiety, I got something I call 9-system desensitization. That word I always get wrong. Quite a bit of a mouthful. Desensitization. Okay. So, for instance, if you have a crippling approach anxiety, right, and going up to someone that you think is really hot, really beautiful, and saying, hi, I'm really interested in you because you're beautiful, whatever. It's very difficult to do. So what you're going to do is going to break it down to 9 small steps. That's why this kind of 9-step system I came up with. The first step is this. You're going to go up to 3 people. They could be man, woman, or couples, doesn't matter, right? You can ask for directions. Could be, where the nearest Starbucks is. Could be, where that landmark is and whatever, okay? And then as soon as you hear the information, you're going to thank them. And you're going to move on. Next 3 sets. So it's the first 3 sets is directions. Next 3 sets, you're going to ask directions and then pay them a specific compliment. So you're going to ask, where the nearest Starbucks is. They're going to tell you that, and you're going to say, well, thank you very much for that. By the way, you look really beautiful in that dress, or you look really stylish in those shoes, and what have you. A specific compliment to them, okay? And you're going to wish them a good day, and then you're going to walk off. The last 3 sets, so you did directions, and a compliment, and the last 3 sets you're going to do directions, asking direction, and pay a specific compliment and introduce yourself. Okay, so you're going to say, hi, do you know where the nearest Starbucks is? By the way, you look really beautiful in that dress, and thank you, whatever, and you say, hi, I'm Ali, or your name. And she's going to share her name with you and say, you know what, thank you very much, lovely talking to you, have a lovely day. So within about 10 to 15 minutes, you've done 9 interactions, very small interactions, and then what you're going to realize is you're warmed up. And going up to someone and saying, by the way, you're really beautiful, I want to come and say hi to you, and whatever, it's going to be much, much easier. Okay, next question. When I'm in nightclubs, I can never speak loud enough without shouting. What can I do to get over this? Okay, this is something I always hear from students as well. I say, like, so loud in the club, I cannot even hear myself. I cannot talk to people. It's just too loud. I can't do this. It gets to a certain stage where people just go crazy over it, and they say, well, this is just crazy. Why are we even in nightclubs and what have you? Whenever I hear this, I just smile because I know people who are deaf, 100% deaf. They go to nightclubs and they get to numbers of the hottest girls maybe the London have. Seen this happening, over and over again. So when I tell this story to students, some of them say, well, okay, it's because these people, these guys that you're talking about have disabilities. That's why they've been shown sympathy. So that you can see the way it goes, right? What I always say is, then I ask this super question: do you have any problem ordering your drink, in a club or bar? They usually say no. So did you shout when you were ordering your drink? No. So if you can order your drink easily enough, and the barmaid can understand you from roughly about half a meter away, a couple of feet away, how can you not talk to someone just right by your face? How can you be in a position where you have to shout, speak really loudly that you lose your voice? And they go, I never thought it that way. Okay, so the reason is that you cannot be heard in nightclubs and what have you, is because you don't want to be heard. When you want to be heard, you could be talking at this level of voice, right? At this pace and what have you, the people that hear you. There's this thing I do, this exercise I do with my students, whereby I move away from them roughly about 10, 15 feet in the nightclub. It's really loud. And I talk to them at this pace and this volume and what have you. They hear almost every single word I say. Just because I make good eye contact, and I want to be heard, so I speak slowly. I don't mumble, and I use gestures and what have you, and they hear everything I say. Then after seeing some of these examples, and then they see that loud music is not actually a problem, but still, let's say you have a problem with this, I would suggest finding a quiet spot in a nightclub or bar. Every nightclub or every venue, let's just put it that way, has a quiet spot. It could be a smoking area, could be a place where the speakers are kind of met and spreading out in different directions and stuff like that. You could just go around a small tour and find out where the music is at acceptable levels, and then just try to talk to the people there, or talk to someone and try to move them to that location. Okay, next question. How many women have you slept with? Well, let me now answer that question. Let's just say for a few years I was a man whore, which I'm not really proud of right now. So I'm not going to go into details. Kezi says, as most of other pick up coaches, dating coaches in Europe, in the UK, say that I'm best in my field. So you kind of guess that number, but I don't want to go into that. Okay, who is better, Kezi Noble, Neil Strauss, or Richard Gambler? And be honest, well, I haven't met Neil Strauss. I haven't met Richard Gambler. I met Kezia. I met lots of other people. I met Mystery. I met lots of other famous people in the community per se. But to me, among these three people, Kezia Noble is the best trainer. Okay, when should I start doing kino? What signs should I look for? Kino, guys, is the act of touching. All right, okay, that sounds a bit creepy, I suppose, for those who don't know the community. Kino means, a handshake or touching on the shoulder, hugging and everything. As I said, you get lots of people with social anxieties, the crippling, or you have people with no experience with women or very little experience with women, as well as people who are really good who want to be the best. Okay, so kino means for those people is a kind of a huge sticking point because they feel really uncomfortable with expressing their masculine energy and masculine needs and wants. So even a handshake, even a hug is a huge step for these people. Is there well, as I said, I do crazy stuff. For me, hugging and kissing people is very normal. So I have people that I just met. I kiss people I just met as well. So to me, there's not really a right or wrong time. It's more like whether it feels comfortable to you. I know so many successful people with women that do not even try to attempt to or try or attempt or whatever to kiss girls before they're about to have sex. It sounds radical and stuff like that. So if it feels natural or normal to give them a hug, do so. If it feels natural to hold their hand, do so. Always follow your emotions, follow your heart, and they don't really get you into the wrong places. To be honest with you, let's say you did it, you attempted it, and you said, "Oh, what are you doing? Oh, back off." That's what you do. But you don't give up. You say, "Okay, cool. Sorry, maybe it wasn't the right time." And talking and try again. Remember, if it was a straight no, she's totally uncomfortable with you and what have you, she would just walk away. And if she's still there, she's saying, look, it's okay, I kind of like you, but I'm giving it time, so, maybe not now, maybe not yet. Okay, that's what it means. Alright, so I was in a nightclub the other night and I come across this chick, very classy. She was really forward to the point where I knew it was unusual. We started the chat, and after about 30 minutes, she took my hand and dragged me to the bathroom, and that was that. Okay, well, that's great. She was so confident and touchy-feely around me, which I loved. However, if I was to do this to other girls, would it work in the same way? I feel they would just get put off as it would be too forward. Well, not every two people are the same. So some women, as you mentioned, are really confident. They just go for it. It could be you, it could be anyone else. Some women would not be so forward. So it depends on their principles and their value system, really. So if for them, if talking to you is important, they're just going to be talking to you. If they really like you sexually, if that's what they want to go for, that's what they're going to do. So you've got to analyze every situation case by case, really. But I tend to be really sexual, really forward, really cheeky with women, and so I kind of get away with stuff like that. Almost every woman I used to kind of go up to. It's kind of scary actually and funny in certain situations. But even then, I didn't obviously get 100% success rate. But now that I have a girlfriend, I'm not doing that. But then I could do it. I was doing some really crazy silly stuff. This reason I made such a big name in a short space of time, and then Casey Noble head on me. So I would say just try. It's trial and error, and you will realize what works for you, what doesn't, and then you should just go from there really. Okay. So what can I do right now after this to start practicing and becoming better? Just follow those three rules. One, never hesitate. Two, always do stuff that makes you happy in those conversations. Okay, always talk about something you're passionate about, you're interested about. Okay, and never force conversations. Number three, always be closing. So I get students going to sets, or we call them sets, and talk to women actually. They talk for about 20 minutes, 30 minutes. They come back, and then I ask them, "So did you get her number?" Because it seems everything very well. And they say, "Well, no, I forgot, or I didn't feel that we were ready, or we were in that stage to ask for the number and everything." They are all excuses, really. So there are cases where I number close or get a girl's number in 20 seconds, barely exchanging names, okay, and that worked, and with dates and everything, it was great. And there were times I talked to a girl for half an hour and whatever, I got her number, nothing happened. Okay, so always first rule, or never hesitate. If you see a girl you want to talk to, you go talk to her. Okay, to always talk about stuff that you're passionate about and stuff that's going to make you happy. Okay, that includes the conversations. And three, always be closing. So if you follow these three rules, you will never fail actually. So what's going to happen is you're going to get approach anxiety. You see a pretty beautiful girl, you will feel afraid, nervous, and whatever, and you're like, oh, I can't do this and stuff like that. Whenever you get the feeling, that's the guy you have to talk to. You could be asking directions, you could be doing whatever. But you got to go do it, because remember, progress is all about having good habits. Now you have really bad habits, which is you see a girl, you get nervous, and whatever, you don't do it. Or when you go after that girl, you ask directions instead of being honest about it, or you talk to her and everything. Let's say you've been honest. We talk about really boring stuff that doesn't really represent who you are or you're interested. And then she talks to you for 10, 15 minutes, and she says, there's nothing common we have, or I don't really know what this person is. The conversation is the same as 20 other guys who just come up to me and talk to me. So you got to stand out. The way to stand out is you always follow your heart. So if you see a girl that gets your heart beating fast, you're gonna go talk to her, and you're only going to talk about stuff that you're interested, and you always go for a number and whatever. Okay, that's that. Next, how do you close the deal? For example, I met a girl in a coffee shop. So I asked for her number. So I asked her what she's doing after that. So I asked if she wants to come back to mine. We just played on the situation. Well, as I gave you an example, as soon as you get into an interaction, you need to know where you want to take the interaction towards. You're the driver of the interaction, because you're the man that lead the interaction. Sorry guys, tough love. You gotta do this. So if you're talking to a girl and you're interested and you want to set up a date, you're gonna go for a number. You're gonna set up for a date. If you really like talking to that girl and you just want to kiss girl, you're gonna go for a kiss. And you feel she's giving you the signs and she's complying with the tests and everything you do. Yeah, okay, then the geeky term, complying with tests, which means whatever you ask her to, she does. For instance, come sit here, she does. Tell me this, she does. Give me a number, she does, and what have you. You can try this again. You know what? Why don't we go somewhere else, and then from there somewhere else, see where things take you. As I said, you need to know where you want to take the interaction to. So as soon as you know that, you can achieve that goal. Okay, but if you don't know the goal, just play by the ear, whatever. So you will be like a hamster on a wheel. You will be running around the same spot. Okay, you may have a great conversation for 20 minutes, half an hour, whatever, but actually what you're doing is just going around the same spot, and it gets boring after a while. So you need to know where this interaction is going to take you. So it has to go to a certain place. As soon as you get to that place, you're going to close the deal right there and then. But you need to know, you need to determine what the deal is. If it's a number, it's a date, it's a kiss, or it's something else. You need to know and you need to go for that. What you're going to realize is that when you know what you want, and when you're determined to get that, more often than not, you'll get that. Okay, this is another very commonly asked question. When a girl speaks, how much eye contact should I give her? I hear 70%, rest of the time just look distracted. Okay, that's a weird question. I guess the question is this: when I talk to a girl, how much of an eye contact should I have? Should I have like 70% looking at her, 30% somewhere else, or just 30% looking at her, 70% somewhere else? Well, they're not fast and sorry, hard and fast rules about this. Okay, it's all about what feels comfortable. So sometimes we get students who get all this eye contact thinking really wrong. They just stare at you whole conversation. Imagine someone just staring into your eyes for like 20, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. That would be really scary. So it's just a healthy balance of just looking at them, looking around, and just looking back at them and everything. So my rule is this: whenever I'm talking to someone, um, so the first couple of minutes I keep steady eye contact. It's not like kind of creepy, really intense. It's more like I am talking to them normally, and I'm making sure that they understand. I'm listening to them carefully. I'm listening to them with all my concentration. It's very important. So making good and steady eye contact with them for the first 2 minutes, and then afterwards maybe looking around and what have you. But usually my attention is still with them. It's a good way to break eye contact without breaking the connection between you is this. If you're gonna break eye contact, look around, whatever, never look down and stuff, just play with your hands and stuff like that. The best way is just look sideways or maybe up and what have you. Just keep talking. So, for instance, I'm gonna do this with you. Let's say I'm talking to you. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna carry on talking. I'm gonna look around. So I keep talking, and I'm gonna come back to you. So this way, it doesn't feel weird. Okay, it doesn't feel that don't really care about what she's saying, whatever. And also, it's a bit healthy, so you're not keeping this steady and like intense gaze with them. It's more like talking to them and whatever. So remember, if you just looking at them and all of a sudden do this, just weird. Okay. All right. Next question. All right. What material would you recommend checking out, i.e., blogs, articles, and YouTube clips? Well, guys, we have a wealth of information on kezia-novel.com. We have lots of YouTube videos, we have lots of blog articles and what have you there. And I also what suggest is for you to improve your social skills is reading. I'm known as a master conversationalist, and I'm really quick. I come up with really interesting stuff on the spot all the time. And people say, how can you be so quick about improvising? How can you come up with really quick and witty answers on your feet? It's because, well, one, I practice quite a lot, and two, I read a lot. Okay, just your mind's a factory, and what you put in is what you're gonna get. If you don't read and if you don't watch people that are very inspiring and what have you, you're not gonna have anything to share, right? If you don't have any good hobbies, as I said, nothing goes in, nothing's gonna come out. All right, so I would recommend you to check out our website, kezia-novel.com. There's so many videos and blog articles right there, and read from people you like. For instance, I love stand-up comedies. I watch people like Chris Rock, and I learn so much as to how they structure kind of a joke and everything. And then sometimes I get inspired by their jokes and stuff as well. Then all of a sudden I realize I develop my own unique sense of humor, and then I become really quick. Now I go on stage every week, and I can talk about just about anything for hours without making people bored or go to sleep and what have you. That's because I read a lot. I am involved in so many different activities and stuff, and I also meet amazing people and watch these inspirational people do their thing, and then you learn so much. Next question: have you worked with Daniel Johnson? Is he any good with the ladies? Well, Daniel Johnson is a stylist. He's our fashion guru. He's very good at what he does. Don't know whether he's amazingly going or not, because you know, think about this in that sense, where he's successful. I believe he's in a relationship as well, and he's with someone he wants to be with. So he has that power. He has the power to choose whoever he wants to be with, rather than settling for just someone in his social circle. So I think that could determine whether you're good or not, and I think it's good in that sense. Next one. So recently I've been just getting really drunk, as I feel that is the only way I can build enough confidence to speak to women. When I get drunk, I'm not that bad at getting with chicks. Okay, another don't stop calling them chicks, really, woman do. But I want to stop doing it. How do I get around this problem? How do I build that confidence up? How do I become that person when I'm drunk? Sounds sad, but it's true. How much do you drink as well when you go out and with your class? I don't drink. Actually, no, I'm lying. I started drinking about a year and a half ago. Before that, I never drink. I never drank. I'm 30. Kind of hate alcohol, the taste and smell and everything. And I also feel like it's just waste of money. I would rather spend my money on something else. And also, I am really confident anyway to start with, so I don't really need that Dutch courage or liquid courage to go and talk to people. So how do you build confidence? There are lots of different ways. Me and Kezi are working on this amazing DVD program. This is going to help you build the confidence, so you can talk to people and make impact in seconds. So this is going to come out in September, towards the end of September. You guys are welcome to try it out. That's the DVD that I'm going to explain how we can destroy your fears and how we can build that ironclad confidence, and then also going to share with you so many great conversational techniques. It's going to make you a ladies boy, a ladies man. Um, okay, how do you build confidence? In a nutshell, I would say, okay, you need to know what your goals are. Okay, you need to start working towards them. Either like small steps or like big steps that's going to take your game to that next level, depending on what kind of person you are. The best way to build confidence is, in my humble opinion, is to go out there and try things out. Okay, so action cures fear. So when there's no fear, you're going to have this space in your mind where you can grow. And also you need to look at the successful people who are really good at what is it you want to achieve. Start emulating some of their skill sets. And one thing is very important with most of these people: they act, speak, and perceive the world in a totally unique way, which is totally different than most people. So they usually communicate with people on an emotional level. They know where they want to get to. They can get other people to understand their vision and buy into their vision, which is really important. In order to build that confidence, you need to get into that action mentality. Because action is going to change your belief system. So, for instance, making eye contact is scary for you. You need to force yourself to make eye contact with people. Okay, the right eye contact. And if it's scary for you to be at the forefront of a crowd or a classroom, whatever that's what you're going to do, because you need to push yourself. You push yourself out of your comfort zone. So the more you do that, more wider and better your comfort zone will become. And then because that you are actively trying to change things about you, you're going to see some of the fears that you have are unfounded, and then this going to affect your belief system. So when you know it's not a big deal to go up to girls and say, "Hi, you're really beautiful. I want to talk to you. My name is Ali," and then your belief system is going to say, "Well, I can go up to hot girls and I can talk to them. It's not a big problem." So the next thing is, I can talk to these beautiful girls and I can get their number. Because I've done that. Your belief system is going to be like, "Yeah, I've done it. It's not a big deal," and then it just goes on and on like that. So start very small, okay, and work towards your goal. But don't just start small and without any kind of destination in mind, because that would just fizzle out, and you will have no motivation to work towards it. As I said, I'm doing a great product for this purpose, and it's going to be all about your mindset, fear, how to overcome fears, and your confidence up, and then also externally how you can communicate better, make impact, and never run out of things to say, and what have you. You're more than welcome to check it out. It should be out next couple of months or so. Guys, one last question, then we're done. Top 5 openers. Oh, is it best to tell a story of my top 5 openers? This is a bit funny. When I first started, I was using openers and whatever stuff that I came up with. But now, no two openers I use are exactly the same. And for the last 3 years, 3.5 years I've been teaching, I never use the same opener twice. So I don't really have an opener per se. As I said, just be honest. And I usually go direct. Is what we call direct. You see someone, and they're really beautiful, stunning, and elegant. But something about them you really like. You go up to them and you tell them that, okay, and you explain why you found that particular attractive, and that's more than enough usually. Sometimes hi, Amali is better than memorizing a stupid line that's like three, four lines and everything, because that three, four lines must could have been used by tens of other people, and it's not going to really sound very congruent with your personality, or it's going to sound very stupid considering the situation. So don't do that. Don't do stuff like who lies more than a woman and stuff like that. It's just mind numbing. Really, don't do that. Okay, there's something I do. As I said, direct openness. It's a very very simple structure. You look at a girl, she's beautiful, so she's beautiful. And the question is, why is she beautiful? You're beautiful because you got uh, this thing by you that I really, really liked. Yeah, I'll give you an example, for instance. This is something I used to pick up my girlfriend. It's really funny. As I said, at the time, that's why I saw, that's why I went with it, and I still remember it. Funny enough, she had this really cheeky smile, a tiny cheeky smile about her. I went up and said hi. You have this cheeky smile about you that says I'm sexy and I know it. Such confidence on a girl is really attractive. I had to come up and say hi. And when she heard that, she laughed a little and she said, "No, I don't have a cheeky smile. I didn't look at you and then give you a cheeky smile." She's that fiery, that passionate about her, and which I really, really liked. And from there on, it's really clicked to start talking about it. It's just one example. And there's so many other examples and what have you. As I said, I'm a bit crazy and I just go all wild and sexual with my opponents. But we will share this stuff on our boot camps and residentials as well. Or if you want more, you can check our website again, kezia-novel.com. I usually just go direct, source the problem out, or I use situational openness, which means there's something to be observed within the situation. You state the obvious, and then you took it to somewhere else, and it made it funny, or it made it stand out, and then afterwards you say hi. For instance, the other day, I was walking down on the street. I saw this girl very lost and everything, and she went up and said hi. You look very lost. And she's like, really? Yeah, I really actually. I was like, yeah, you got this damsel in distress why by you. It looks as if you're waiting for your Prince Charming on his white horse, but you forgot to tell him, your exact location and what have you. And then, it was a bit funny, but that's how he looked to me. And she laughed and I laughed and started talking. And afterwards I introduced her to my student. And then they had a conversation, he got her number and everything. Yeah, I think they've been seeing each other ever since. So stuff like that. So either direct or look at the situation, state the obvious, and then take it somewhere else. It makes it a bit funny and it makes it stand out, and it's very simple. And that's it really. Okay, guys, thank you very much. You've been such a support. I have more and more questions, but I guess we've come up to the end of our time. And well, there are about 10 more questions, but I guess we don't really have time, as I said. But if you want to get in touch with me, you can always write to me at al.naturalpua, is naturalpua@gmail.com. So al.naturalpua@gmail.com. So al.naturalpua@gmail.com. And if I can answer your question, I have time, I'll definitely get back to you. Okay, guys, have a lovely day. Talk to you soon.